How has a problem with the Apex Legends meta and how it works? Here's what he had to say.
Like, let's say, understanding how good Caustic actually is, or how good just anything in the game, then like nothing matters, you know? Like if I feel like if you don't have that grasp of understanding what's good and what's not in the game, especially like Bang Digi or fucking Old Seer, I don't know, this is not good. In a scenario where, you know, like the Apex comp scene that thinks that Digi and Bang is broken, but then the devs think it's completely fine because they just don't, I guess, like understand or like have a lack of understanding of like the item and the character of like playing it. Like, so basically how Apex comp meta is, like how it works is you basically find the most two broken characters that are like aggressive, and then you have one that's typically your character that can hit the beacon, but obviously is not useless like fucking Rampart or whatever, right? Like, you know, what can counter another character, blah 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 blah, like a bunch of shit to it. But basically, like Bang is only played right now because every other character just sucks ass compared to her, since everything else got nerfed. Like Seer got hard nerfed, right? So then Bang took her place, or took his place. So that's basically just how it works. Like Revenant's just not good because one, like the character is just like a huge hitbox. It's a very individual character that doesn't benefit the actual team in comp compared to Bangalore. But Wraith is just, again, like an individual character. Portal's not really needed and also just useful, and like because of the length of it. Yeah, Bangalore is not a problem until the whole fucking lobby plays her, and then Digi, you basically created a character that is enabled by an item, and that just like creates so much RNG that is like just insane. Like imagine like when Seer was completely broken, right? And there was somehow just like an item in the game that you had to pick up so your ultimate could work. Like that would be stupid. Like even though let's say the Q is also busted, right? Like old Q, and you would only be able to use your ultimate off if you had an item in your inventory that you had to pick up. That would be fucking dumb. And that's just kind of like how Bangalore works. Like you can't really use your smokes aggressively without an item. And if you don't have that item when the other team does, you're just like in a severe disadvantage, which was the issue. Like, what are you gonna do? Fucking 1v3 as Bloodhound just because you can see through the smoke and your teammates can't do anything? Like, Bloodhound is not good enough for, like, the scans are too short, or the scans don't last long enough, and they don't come up fast enough. Like, your scan timer is just terrible. And you're gonna be like, let's just imagine your team has no digis. You're the only Bloodhound on your team because obviously you can only have one Bloodhound, and the other team has at least like even if that team only has one digi on the enemy team, you're just gonna get 1v3'd because your two teammates are just gonna most likely just run away because they can't fucking help you since you're trying to fight a smoke and they can't, but you can. So it doesn't do anything. It just doesn't matter. They would have to buff Bloodhound. They would have to buff Bloodhound a lot. Like, make his scans more... they have to come out faster. They have to last longer. But they're not going to do that. I hate... Like, you know, the very first game of Finals of Champs, when we ran into Optic, because they had... they had 4 digis. 4 fucking digis in the first zone. 4 digis. They didn't even kill anybody. They just looted their stacks in Big Mod, and they got 4 digis the first game of fucking champs, and they're just pushing us through a tunnel. And then it's literally impossible to fucking fight them because they just bang smoke and kill me. Like, and that's just what pisses me off. Like, I should not be playing a game where it's based off of a fucking item whether or not I could shoot my gun at somebody or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking stupid. If you really think about it, I think it's almost impossible to create a game where everything is somehow usable in their own way, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like anything that evolves or revolves around a character or a gun, there's always going to be a gun that people are going to use just because it's better, and it's literally impossible to, like, it's literally impossible to create like identical weapons without it being redundant, and the same thing with characters, to the point where balance is just like a never-ending circle, literally never-ending.